Self-development is mental masturbation. Complete and total fucking wank. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm looking back at my last year or two of progress as a human being, as a man. And I realized that I've been lying to myself a fucking lot. Now, it has been useful. All these things of like, positive thinking and changing the way that you look at yourself, blah, 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 blah. Doing your morning routines, going to gym, this and that and everything like that. But it's like, it was useful in the sense that I was able to see that there was an alternative life that I could be living. It's that little baby step, the training wheels to learning how to ride the bike. And I needed those little training wheels for my head back when I was in absolute like nightmare mode of like truly detesting myself and believing that there's absolutely no hope. Like I was in a true like absolute waste man, basically. And yes, having all that, like focusing on all that little stuff here and there, it's all fucking fluff. But it was fluff that, kind of got things going for me at that really low level. But now it's like I'm getting to the point where for the past, month or two, say about 2-3 months actually, there's just been this tension within me that I've just been feeling like something's not fucking right here. Something's not... Ugh. And that feeling, I didn't know where it was coming from, but it was basically like, I'm just not interested in all of this fluff stuff anymore. I'm not interested in doing like, go and check out your fucking inner child and all your fucking, problems from the past and blah, 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 blah. I've got this issue. I've got this mental model. I've got this fucking... I don't fucking give a shit anymore. Who fucking cares? What I've realized over the past 24 hours, and this is after like another one of my interventions from my brother, is that basically I have not been living in reality. I've been living in a mental construct of my own mind. I've been living in a little fucking la la land in my head where I believe that I'm making progress in life. But in reality, there's no actual fucking change for the big important things. And this is where I was feeling that tension within myself of like, fuck, the things that I'm doing, the information that I'm engaging with, it just doesn't have substance. It doesn't have weight. It doesn't have actual purpose at this point in time. There was a changing of chapters within my life where, yes, I managed to go from just this, fucking nightmare zone in my head to, all right, okay, there is a potential for a good possibility in my life, rather than having like a complete dead end. Like, all right, life is, this is how I used to believe, is like, I truly believe that there was nothing out for me in the world, and that I would live my days such that I'll be old and decrepit, living alone in the woods, in a little cabin by myself, and just dying there on my own. It was a very bleak and hopeless outlook on life. Of course, now that's changed. I have greater ambitions. I want business. I want family. I want, money. I want all sorts of amazing things. I want to help the world. I want to, do good for the world. But there's the intention of wanting these bigger and greater things. To serve the world, to give back to people, to everything. And then my reality. And also my fucking mental constructs that I have. None of this shit is fucking aligning. Right? What do I mean by that? So with all this, fucking self-development and all this mental masturbation shit, I've managed to go and create this mental model where I believed that I've been improving in all these different ways. Oh yes, I'm improving my little mindset. I'm improving the way that I think. I'm improving, the way that I feel and everything like that. Yes, it's useful to get from like fucking -1 to 0. But now, it's kind of like I've been growing the tree so much up that there's like no fucking roots that's actually anchoring me to the ground. And so like I keep growing this tree up and up and up and up and up and up of like in my head, yes, I'm this great person, and it's growing this giant fucking ego. And this is what my brother gave me an intervention on yesterday. He was just like, dude, you have a huge fucking ego. Huge fucking ego that's like protecting you from actually realizing the real world results is that you're still a fucking loser. Right? And, in that moment, I realized like, holy fuck, you're actually totally right. You're totally fucking right. Yes, I've improved my mindset a little bit. Yes, I'm thinking a bit more positively. Yes, I'm wanting to do more positive things in my life and make more changes and everything. But, the actual results over the past 2 years, when I really started this kind of journey, I'm still, at the moment, working a 9-to-5 job. I'm still not making the money that I want to make. I'm still not at the level of, physical fitness or appearance or whatever. Yes, there have been improvements, but it's still not there. I'm not in the living situation that I want to be in. I'm not around the high performance social circles that I want to be in. And I was basically just fucking coping by going, oh yes, but I've made progress in my mindset today. I've read a book today. Fuck. But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Has the thing actually, like, have any specific actions been accomplished in real life? IRL. And not in my little fucking head, the simulation in my fucking head, the little video game that I have playing in my fucking brain. Right? And that's the thing with like, that when you go through like the different stages of like, I guess, self-development, I guess I'm now at the point where it's like, I'm now over with all the fluff shit of just like all the general kind of like, yeah, just, think positive and all that dumb shit, meditate, blah, 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 blah. And now it's like, I've only just started doing more generalized actions that are generally getting me to where I want to go in life. Like, and this has been over the past month, doing like this whole 75 hard thing, which is like, going to the gym and eating better and fucking, reading actual proper books, right? Like every day, having a schedule, doing all these things that I haven't done before. And yes, I'm doing a lot of like busy work and a lot of things. In my mind, I'm going like, oh yes, I'm a super successful person. Look at me now. Fucking. But in reality, I've just graduated up to being a basic human fucking being. So going back to the whole, idea of the fucking tree growing without its roots. Yeah, I've been growing and growing and growing and growing. In my head, it's like, I've been going, oh yes, look at me, fucking, I'm the greatest fucking, person in the world. I'm doing so much work. No one fucking cares. Am I still living in the same living situation? Am I still, broke? Am I still working a 9-to-5 job? Am I still doing this and that and everything? Yes. Is that what I want in life? No. Am I living the life that I want? No. Am I still a loser? Yes. And that fucking ego that I developed, that huge fucking ego that my brother rightfully pointed out, it was basically to cover up the fact that I didn't want to admit that I want to live in this la la land in my head rather than live in reality. This la la land that I created from all this fucking bullshit that I put so much value into, like all this self-development shit, all this fucking fluff shit. I've just graduated to being a loser in the real world. Congratulations, Daniel. You've made it. So stop fucking, stop lying to yourself, Daniel. Fuck. And having this false, living in this fucking la la land in my own head, thinking that I'm making progress in ways that I'm actually not. How that's also impacted me is also impacts me in the sense of masculinity as well, because I've always been questioning what is my relationship to masculinity. I'm not a very masculine man. I'm very feminine. I'm very not in touch with that. And it's because and I'm starting to realize this more now. It's just for a man to be a man, he has to live in fucking reality. He has to see that there's things that needs to be done. And just say, all right, we're fucking doing this right now. We're doing this right here. We're doing this today. Fucking let's go. And I just haven't been doing that because I've been just living my own fucking la la land in my head. Lying to myself. And I would always question oh yeah, well I have all these different character traits that where it's I'm not very direct, and I'm not very, I waver a lot, and I'm not very just, to the point. Well, yeah, because I've got all these conflicting fucking bullshit happening in my head all the time that I'm trying to juggle to keep this consistent fucking, la la land circus in my head going. I've got thoughts of, from one person talking their fucking thing in my head, and another voice going here, going, oh yeah, but what about this, fucking thing. They sometimes conflict, and this and that, and da 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 da. It's pure fucking chaos. And in my head, if there's fucking chaos, it's going to lead to chaotic thinking. And if there's chaotic thinking, it's going to lead to just chaotic actions. Nothing directed, nothing just to the point, nothing of course I'm not going to act like a fucking man. Duh. Because I'm just all over the place like a fucking child. And so the valuable thing that my brother taught me yesterday in his reflections to me in his little intervention when we went out for lunch was that basically I have to implement this ruthless level of realism to myself and cut through all this fucking retardation that I've got playing in my mind. All this ego shit, all this dumb shit. And just ask myself, am I living the life that I want? Yes or no? And then, did I actually accomplish the tasks and the actions, the actual actions, not the fucking mindset changes and all the fucking little bullshit fairy dust fucking bullshit in my head. The actual real world actions. Did they get complete? Yes or no? And if it's no, then it's not fucking good enough. Go out there and work harder. And get it fucking done. Who gives a shit? If I read a book and felt better today, who fucking cares? Get the thing done. Otherwise, life is going to continue getting worse and worse. Was the actual thing accomplished? Yes or no? That's like binary, fucking 1 or 0. Am I living the life that I want? 1 or 0, yes or no? Am I a fucking loser? Yes or no? And the thing is that I will know that I'm not a loser because I'll have so much actual real world evidence to back me up and just say, where I can get a sense of like, oh, actually, no, I've done all these different things here. I've done all this. I've got all this real world results around me. Fucking focus. Yeah. I've got all this actual real world results around me. I don't need to prove shit in my head or like do some mental gymnastics to try and prove to everybody that I'm more successful than what I actually am. And that's where the ego comes back in again. Fucking focus. Where my ego, this giant fucking demon in my head, just will fucking play into everything that I do. Into all of my like social interactions, in the way that I present myself, into the way that I do shit. Into the way that I like to have, this fucking perfectionism. Right? It's because because I've got this mental model of like how I'm, performing really well in my head. I've got myself my little participation fucking awards. That like this self view of myself that isn't actually has anything to do with reality. I've got this fucking conflict. Like I'm this walking contradiction that whenever I approach somebody or want to get closer to somebody, develop a relationship with somebody, there's that internal tension where I have to go like, fuck, I have to keep this mask on, I have to keep this fucking face on, I have to keep good appearances and everything like that. So that I won't let this fucking reality and my mental, portrayal of myself, this ego, actually clash. Right? Like I would do shit like fucking, I would try and avoid, if there's something that will be seen by others and there's a, potential that I could, fuck up and fail big time or whatever, and that would portray negatively on, how I'm seen or whatever, then I just wouldn't do it. Or that I would feel a genuine fear when getting into closer relationships, more intimate relationships. Because there's that fear of like, okay, at some point, Jesus Christ, I'm quite hungry. At some point, they would figure out that I'm wearing a mask, that I've got this fucking mental model here, this view of myself that I'm just trying to portray, and it's not actually lining up with reality. It's my fucking ego that I'm trying to put out in front of everybody. And I need to maintain it. I need to fucking maintain it. And it's fucking tiring. It's bullshit. And I was always trying to figure out, like, why do I do this? Why do I act in this way? Why can't I just be real? Because I didn't want to admit to myself that in the real world, with real results, I just haven't done the actual actions that would provide the actual real world results that would back up who I wanted to be. I saw myself, like, I'm trying to portray myself as somebody that's much further ahead, this fucking smart person, this big, big brain fucking motherfucker. When in reality, I can just go, okay, look, I'm still a bit of a fuck up loser. Cool. Fix that shit. Let's go. Let's fix it fucking today. But it's much easier, much more energy conserving to go, oh yes, but I'm a fucking, I've done so much mindset work. I'm doing so much, spiritual, emotional, fucking self-control work. Fucking bleh. Fucking who gives a shit, man? Fucking, like, looking back at it, I'm pissed off at myself because I realized just how fucking stupid I've been. Just how fucking dumb this shit is. It's like, fuck, man. So, and just the title fucking together on this big, beautiful, stupid fucking bow. I've used all this self-development shit as a tool to get me from -1 to 0. To get me from seeing life as just this pure fucking dark abyss to going like, okay, cool. Can we make a change now? Can we do something different? Can we do whatever, right? The problem is that I chose not to implement the actual actions, the actual actionable steps, the real world shit. And I chose to go, oh, well, all of this, all the problems in my life, all the real world problems in my life will just be fixed with more of this mental masturbation, with more of this fluff and more of this mindset work and more of this dumb shit. I just need another flavor of this dumb shit. I just need more of this dumb shit. I just need to practice more and more of it. That's right. It's all about more of my mindset bullshit. Fuck that noise. It's only led me to more fucking confusion. And if, like, I've been riding around with these fucking, training wheels on that don't serve me anymore. Yes, I needed a bit of that stimulus to, get my little plant to fucking grow from like this decrepit little fucking, seed that's just nothing there. some little bit of water, a bit of fucking soil and nutrients needed to, sprout up just a bit. But then real world action is what grounds it into the fucking ground, into the earth. Because the problem is that I've just been using all this little mental masturbation shit just to grow taller and taller, 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 taller in my head. But what will happen is that in the real world, because I don't have that fucking actual rooted to reality of like, I've done shit. I've got this mental idea of myself without any of the roots. What will happen is a wind will come over and we'll all fucking fall down. And that's the fucking danger. And especially because, like, with my brother and I, we were talking, like, we're setting up a business together. We've got, like, a little thing going. And I realized, like, holy shit, if I don't get this fucking thing sorted out now, what can seriously happen, like, the real world consequences is that, if we are successful, I could easily sabotage myself, or even worse, the whole entire operation, because of this whole effect of like me trying to keep face, because I'm like trying to, appear bigger than what I actually am. Or if I ever do, make money or become even more successful, it'll get straight to my fucking head without any actual proper grounding. And I'll become like one of those dickheads that go like, oh yeah, check out my car. Check out my this, check out my that. Because the problem is that I've already, like, I started going in that fucking direction. Like, even recently, like, I've been going like, oh yeah, I really like this fucking BMW. And like, see on the streets, or like, oh, I see a nice sports car or some shit. I'm like, yeah, I need to have that car. I need to have that car. Or like, I see some fucking, yachts on the fucking water. It's like, yeah, I'm going to buy that fucking yacht. Yeah. But that's all coming from like a place of fucking pain, not from a genuine place of like, yeah, that's a beautiful car or a beautiful, thing or whatever, beautiful status symbol. It's coming from a place of pain of like, I don't, I need to have this thing because I don't really have the real world, accolades or, accomplishments to prove that I am the person that I am. And it's like, it's coming from a place of pain. Of going like, I need to prove myself. I need to feel love. And my brother pointed it out, and I'm just like, fuck, you are totally right. Like, because the reason why I was doing that is because I was like kind of trying to like brainwash myself into like wanting more success, when in actual reality, I don't give a fuck about all this shit. Yeah, they're cool, they're whatever, but it's like I kind of like it was just me, rather than opting for actual actions, it was me trying to wish away all the problems in my life, the real world problems in my life, by doing some more mental trickery, mental fucking bullshit, mental gymnastics, rather than doing actual work. Because I didn't want to admit that I was just a lazy, pain intolerant little bitch. I would instead opt for the mental wankery of going like, yeah, I'll be fucking successful if I just, picture in my mind driving a fucking Ferrari and having lots of money and living in a really cool house and everything. It's like, fuck all that shit. That just kept growing this fucking tree, this mental image of myself, this fucking ego, further and further, higher and higher, without any of the fucking roots to show for it. So, what's happening for me going forward is that my brother showed me that this is what was happening in my head. And he was like, dude, it's painfully obvious that everyone can see it except for you. And I'm like, fuck. Well, this is a bit embarrassing. God damn. So now, I basically said to myself, congratulations, Daniel. You've graduated to being a fucking loser in the real world. What specific actions are you going to do now? So this is where I'm at right now, where now I'm just like, I realized like now that I've only really just started. Like just started my self-development journey of actual, true, proper self-development. Where it's admitting to myself, I'm still a fucking loser in the real world. Get your fucking act together. And so now it's like I just ask myself, all right, cool, great. You know, I felt good today, blah, 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 but was there an actual action done today? Yes or no? Did I move one step closer to my goals? Yes or no? No? Cool. Unacceptable. Not cool. Unacceptable. Fucking keep working and do it again. If yes, great. Cool. On to the next day. Did I accomplish the thing? Oh, well, I accomplished it yesterday. Yesterday's fucking accomplishments doesn't mean jack shit today. Did you accomplish it today? The thing today, did you do it? No. Fucking go again. And is it specific? Like, I realize now that, you know, for example, like with, you know, like with gym and shit. You know, my general thing was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to the gym. I'm just going to the gym. Yeah, I might burn a couple calories here and there or whatever. I'm going on a diet. Cool. Is there anything measurable, trackable, fucking specific? Am I doing with proper intention and reason? I mean, it's better that I'm doing it. I mean, this is a general step in the right direction. And general steps are important along my journey, but I realize now that it's like 90% of my journey for like the past, like 99% of my journey for the past 2 years, coming from like that fucking hellhole to where I am now, 99% of it has just been fluff of just like mental masturbation. The past 30, 40 days has just been general shit. Has been general, just like, all right, I'm going to start making doing more exercise. I'm going to start eating better. I'm going to make a timetable. Great. I'm going to start, doing some daily habits and everything. Great. Cool. That's just general shit. But now it's about like, okay, cool. Actions, results, real world. Yes, no. Fucking move forward. Go. And only now do I realize, like, fuck, I'm only just starting my self-development journey. The real one. In the real world. Not in the fucking mental wank zone, but in the real world, where I have to be brutally honest with myself, fucking cut out the ego, and not lie to myself. Ruthlessly realistic. And to let go of the whole need to keep face and all this shit and just admit, okay, look, still a loser. I'm going to fix that shit. Here's how. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Fucking move on. And start growing those fucking roots based on planet Earth, like in fucking reality, which I will then look upon later and go, oh shit, okay, cool. I have a reason now to think, you know, bigger of myself, and will actually have some basis in reality. So, if you have also got yourself caught up, if you listening to my story also relate in your world and are probably thinking something like, oh yeah, fuck, maybe I have been lying to myself. Am I actually living the life that I want? Has it all just been fucking just lying to myself? Has it all just been, you know, mental masturbation this entire time? If you're probably getting those thoughts or feelings or like that uneasiness of just like, fuck man, I've been doing all this, you know, fucking incantations and fucking, maybe something's not working out. Well, if that's the case, you should probably double check if you're here on fucking planet Earth or in the little circus of your mind. So, check yourself and be ruthlessly realistic if you actually want to make actual progress in the real world for your actual and real self-development journey.